Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just Fit, where I am playing Dark Souls 3 The Weapon Playthroughs. Last episode we did ourselves just about the entirety of the Ring City. Really? And today we're gonna go and beat all the bosses that are still left. Which includes Midir, Gale, Half-Light, and the Soul Cinder. So today is normally the final episode. Totally depends on how the bosses are gonna go though, because I am a little bit scared of Midir because I have a feeling that he's gonna be resistant to magic. And lo and behold, magic is my entire being, so yeah, it's probably gonna take like half a year to fight him, and I'm probably gonna get one-shot by him if I somehow fuck up, so huzzah. The life of a magic user, I swear to God. Happens always. Always fucking happens. I do find it kind of funny that, like, Midir is such a hidden boss when you think about it. Because now almost everybody knows that he's behind here. But in the beginning, I'm not sure if people would figure that out in the beginning, though. Like, I wonder how fast it, or how long it took for people to figure this out. Right, so you get the antiquated plain garb. Let me go and take a look, actually. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Am I blind? Yes, a little bit. Well, no. Just a big old... Nope. This doesn't look too bad. And this is just taking shenanigans. Jailer stuff is kind of weird. The Robe of Prayer. That's also kind of weird. Like, I really don't like the big neck space over here. And, like, this is just, like... I don't know, man. This is just a little bit too much. This is a little bit too much. Puts on the freaking Pope armor. Yeah. Going great some fireworks. Lower my weapon's durability. Is it actually a thing? Does it lower my durability? Nah, it doesn't. I was wondering, because I think it does in Dark Souls 2. If you hit a wall. Alright, let's see how much damage we can do with Crystal Soul Spear. 323? That's not bad. 121 with my dagger. That's also not too bad. I cannot really see the bar move that much, but it's better than doing nothing, I suppose. Also, my sorceries are pretty dang useful in this thing, so... Well, they're not strong, but it's quite easy to hit him in, so... That is where they will be handy. That's a dash attack. You're gonna do your tail attack, or... Yep. Okay, fight 1, fight 2, and here comes the fire. That's a dash, yep. Slash, sleesh. Crystal Soul Spear in your face. That's a really fast one. No, no. Okay, I don't really think I've ever seen you combo that attack before. Here comes the Tantrum. Very weird, I'm seeing him do stuff that I've never seen him do before. Well, combinations of stuff that I've never seen him do before. Whoopsie. Bad. I'm actually really scared of the second phase, because then he can use his laser attack, which I still don't really know how to properly dodge the attack. Since that attack reaches the entirety of the freaking arena, just about. Grabbing attack that's gonna one-shot me if he grabs me. Gotta find a moment to heal my feet. And my HP, because I got hit by the attack. Okay. That claw flew right above my head. Jesus. Or barely, like, within an inch of my head. gonna do? You're gonna go into the fire, which will result in the laser, in the freaking laser. Okay. This laser attack I know, but it's like the big laser attack that I just don't know. Right, you're gonna go and fire that in my direction now. Almost out of sorceries. I'm stuck on a pile of corpses. Alright, what's it gonna be? Me there? Oh, the grabbing attack me again. Alright, that's the big combo. I'm halfway, people. Now are you ready to see me get one-shot by something? Because that is the thing that's what we're gonna have. Alright, second phase. And now he starts to use some stuff that I don't always know how to deal with. Like the laser. Yeah, just get underneath him. If you can. Holy crap. My god, this attack. This fucking attack. This dude's insane. The thing is, when he's done with the attack, he is stunned for a little bit though. If anything, you do get some a chance to wail on him if you survive the attack. Which I usually don't, so yeah. I think even if I'm like a full physical build, a lot of HP and all that jazz, and good armor, I don't even think I'm going to be able to survive that attack. Well, maybe, but barely. But at this point, that attack is always one-shot me. Alright, can't really see what you're doing, buddy. Two attacks. Probably two of them. Yep. Because that is what it likes to do in the second phase. Okay. And now we can actually fight. A little bit in any case, until he summons all of these boys. I wonder how long it's going to take me to actually get him stunned, and how much damage I will do when I stun him. Because I don't think I'm going to be doing that much damage. That's going to be a fair chunk of his HP, but oh boy. I wonder why he's doing this though. Is it a buff? Or is it just an AoE attack? I never knew. Okay. And then his head explodes. There we go. And now, a part of his defense is gone, I think. I need to run. I'm not going to take chances. I don't have to. Right. One more! One more! Oh boy! There we go. My god. Jesus. Alright. Okay. There you go, people. That's how you fight mid-air with daggers. Magic daggers. Which means that you probably lose a lot of your damage. You know what, fuck it, I'm gonna look it up right now. Right here, right now. Is mid-air resistant against magic? You're doing what? That was weird. Let's go and do this. I actually don't need this picture anymore. Let's see. Dark Ether Midair. Oh yes. He's weak to lightning, thrust damage, the Fair and Greatsword, the Wolflight, the Greatsword, Pestilent Mist. He's actually weak to Pestilent Mist. Intriguing. He's immune to poison, toxic, and bleed, and frost. And he is resistant against dark, fire, and magic. Yeah. Yes, I did just fight Dark Eater Midair with a dagger that is infused with magic. Oh well. At least he is done now, and I can get myself a snazzy new sorcery. From the corpse of this dude. There we go. Old Moonlight. We also go and grab the skull ring for no reason whatsoever. Right. Let me go and attune that spell. Conceive Old Moonlight Sword and attack. Yeah, it's a bit like your greatsword, but then also with a projectile. Ash. Right. I'm gonna go and start putting more points into my HP. Okay, time for the rest of the Ringed City people. Oh, gotta love stretching. Ooh, damn. Feels good. Okay, so now it's gonna be Half-Light, which is an encounter that I don't really know how that's gonna go. And it will forever stay an encounter like that, probably. I could either run into another person playing, who could be either an idiot or somebody who's really good at PvP. Or I could run into Half-Light, who is a ridiculously buffed freaking NPC. So yeah. Let's see, people. Also, I hate the fact that the painting guardians are in this battle. And the fact that you cannot skip this goddamn text. I know why they do it, but it's still so annoying. And I will say it every single playthrough that I have to do of this goddamn game. Well, have to do is a big word, but you know what I mean. You know what? Well, you know what I'm gonna talk about. I can actually not even enter my menu. I was thinking about maybe trying to equip my Hornet Ring. Did I call that savagely? Right, and then you're gonna be over here. You're gonna find the perfect opportunity to... Nope, okay. That didn't happen. It is Half-Light. It is Half-Light. Ay, ay, ay. This it also has like infinite freaking FP, so it's gonna be able to infinitely use the weapon arts from the katana that it's using. At least it doesn't seem to have that much poise. So that's at least something. One use Old Moonlight. That's 169 damage. Nice. He can actually dodge that. Okay. He can actually... Yes! The NPC can actually dodge that stuff. And as you can quite clearly see, I get killed in 3 hits. Just about. 3 or 4 hits. And that's all I need to die. And I usually cannot escape. Like, if I get hit, I'm gonna take 2 hits. That's almost guaranteed. So... Yay. Half-Light. Such a fun boss, that one. Why didn't I even send the freaking elevator up? I know I'm almost 100% sure that I never... That I just don't first try Half-Light. One does not simply first try Half-Light. Well, you probably could if you had a good weapon. And some defense. Which I haven't had in a long time. Well, long time. This is hopefully going to be the final time that I'm going to deal with that bullcrap. Because from this point onwards, we're gonna do... Well, there's still going to be probably a playthrough where I'm gonna be using only boats, which is gonna be an experience. But that's beside the point. 26k. Is that worth retrieving every single time? I don't know. The problem is that that dude also uses a katana, and I don't really know the parry timing of a katana. That's another thing. Because if it was a greatsword or just a straight sword. Yeah, I just need somebody to use charge. I can almost always parry that one. Right, and there we go. There we have the freaking timing. There we go. And here is our person. What in the hell is he doing? He's preparing himself. Yeah, why don't I go and... It's not working. It ain't working. It's being a little bit of an asshole. Using a goddamn rapier. I know your kind. I've had to deal with your kind quite a lot. Ow. Okay. Yeah, I should try to find a point of parry. I cannot escape. I cannot escape once I get hit. There's no escape for me. Man, I cannot wait until... You know, this entire playthrough... Well, the thing is, I still like Sorceries. I still really like Sorceries and I like this build. PvP, it's not that good. And also that will not get rid of the fact that I will die in 3 hits. So... yeah. And that is something that I don't usually have in other playthroughs. You also tend to have better weapons. Instead of a dagger. Oh well, we'll just keep on going to this far gate and keep on fighting what's his face until I either lose my mind or until there's something good coming out of this. I'm thinking about equipping the Hornet Ring. Sure, let's go and give that a shot. It does lower my stamina regen, which can be an issue, but we'll see how this is gonna go. If I can backstab or parry anybody, I'm gonna be doing a lot of damage. And I can already backstab the first Paging Guardian, and I want to see how much damage I can do this way. If I can one-shot this one, that way, that'd be nice. I don't think so, but there could be a chance. Wow, look at that lovely combo that he just did. Ow. Wow, this guy is going freaking die hard. He's actually blocking my healing. Why in the hell is this Painting Guardian doing such weird shit? Oh man. The lovely thing about like sometimes getting players is that some people are idiots. So if I'm lucky, I can run into an idiot and I can just very easily take care of him. Damn the ball earlier. That is the thing. When he does a dashing attack earlier. Oh, you Are you gonna do it again? Or are you not gonna do it again? You might have noticed the fact that I was... The kick. Ah yes, the sign of an expert player right there. The mid-attack kick. Alright, get rid of those things. I'm looking for a moment to parry. Too early. Look at the R1 spammage. The thing is, if I could parry this one, he's gonna die. He's gonna get one-shot if I can parry him. Which is what I want to do. Come on, dude. Give me the freaking range there. I want to find a... the thing is, I'm gonna have to take a hit at a certain point to be able to parry him. God. I find it kind of funny that he doesn't even notice that I'm trying to find a moment to parry. Got him! Please get one shot. Yes! Thank you. There we go. Okay. This guy... I don't feel like this guy did a lot of PvP before. Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, the people that don't... Like, the people that do a lot of PvP and you see somebody, like, trying to parry you over and over and not really doing that much, that guy's looking to parry you. I don't know, man, but that's one thing that I've learned in PvP. When somebody is holding a target shield or some kind of a parry shield and he's not really trying to hit you or whatever, he's trying to look for a moment to parry. And yeah. Oh well. He could have used his weapon arts, for instance, which would have totally screwed up my entire plan. But he didn't. So that is quite nice. Alright, time to go over to Gale. And seeing how horrendously bad that boss is gonna go. Because there's no way that I can do a critical attack on him. At least, maybe, hopefully it's not gonna be defensive against magic. I'm not gonna look it up until I'm done with him, by the way. I do know that Gale has a metric buttload of HP. And that it's quite defensive, so... yeah. And I've never really tried to use spells in the middle of battle against him, so... well, I have, but it's been a while, so... so we will have to see how that's gonna go. But we're almost there, people. We're almost at the end. I found this place to be such, like, wasted potential, really. This could have been a cool area in general. You know what, I still feel like the Fidget Outskirts in Dark Souls 2, if they didn't put... you know what, if they didn't put the whole blizzard thing in it, with the stupid reindeer enemies, then it would have been fine, I think. Well, even the blizzard would have been fine. But like the horse enemies that always spawn, or like the reindeer enemies that always spawn there, those are the enemies that like just ruin everything. Alright, thank you for breaking that chair. 100 damage. Do you see the freaking damage I'm doing, dude? Look at that damage! Did I expect anything else, really? Not really. Not really. 362, that's pretty decent. I did not re-equip my stamina freaking ring. Oh well. There might be a moment where I will regret that decision, but that moment is not right now. I'm definitely noticing it though. With my stamina. Crap. I think I could also use Snap Freeze on him. Since I think he's weak to... It may not be weak to it, but I know that Frostbite works on him. Look at my soul spear flying. Right, I still have a lot left there. Maybe I should try to empty out my my soul spear, like my focus point. Oh, I forgot that thing was set. Oh, it's flying. Alright then, doesn't matter. There we go. Fuck. Yeah, that was a moment where if I had my stamina ring, I would have probably been able to avoid it. Oh yeah, you can teleport to here. I forgot that that was an attack that he could do. Or just a thing that he could do. Because it isn't particularly an attack. He is pretty dang slow in this part of the fight though. Well, except when you reach this part. Because then he starts flying around the place. But I'm out of spells now, so... Time for physical freaking contact. In the probably most difficult... Well, I think this is better though. That I need to do physical damage right now, because finding a moment to hit him with a ranged spell might not be that easy to do. Can you actually parry him? I've never tried. Maybe I should try that once. Not in this battle though. Yeah, if I got hit by that, that would have killed me. Okay. And there we go! Right, that wasn't too bad. I still have 3 S's left, which is kind of weird for a fight against Gale. Usually I just run out of my S's entirely, and I didn't even have maximum S's in this playthrough, since I'm using a couple of it as Ashen Estes. Intriguing. I feel like it's either the daggers that makes me good, because I don't have to think about when to hit too much, or it's just the fact that I have literally become better at Dark Souls out of nowhere. Alright. Milady. There we go. How much HP do I have right now? I now have 1,066. There you go. Don't need that thing for Soul of Cinder neither. Since the Soul of Cinder doesn't really have a parry or a crit or a stun moment or whatever. Well, it does have a stun moment, so you can do bonus damage then. But he does not have... except if you maybe you can parry him, I don't know. It doesn't matter much. The Hornet Ring is mainly useful for PvP. Or when you can parry literally everything in the game and then you can do lots of damage. Together with a dagger, of course. Even though this dagger only has like a 10% extra critical damage amount thing, multiplier. So look at all these people trying to help you beat this boss. Alright, Soul Cinder, here we are again. For the 4th time already. 527 damage. Now that is a lot of damage. Ow. Poison. Ah, fuck. The thing is, this guy's so big when he uses the freaking. Oh wow. When he uses his combustion, then I'm always like, okay, is it gonna hit me? Because I'm actually pretty low. It's the same as the old Demon King and his combustion attack. There you go. You're just gonna go and give me a chance? Right then. No problem, bruh. The spear can be a little bit of an issue though. I wonder if I can parry the attack. There you go. Time to go into his final phase. Well, second and final phase. The green phase. Nice. Jump attack. And here comes the combo. 1, 2, there we go. 1, 2, cross and back. Damn it. If he grabbed me with that, that would have been my death. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I pressed the button in a weird way. Oh boy. Can I please? I don't care if I get hit. As long as I can heal. Need to find a good moment. A good moment. Gets hit by the identical attack again. This is a good moment. What you gonna do, buddy? Yep, just attack. Time to run. This might have been a mistake. Nope, it was not. Let's go and finish this off, buddy. There we go. Got a couple of close calls. But aside from that, the Soul of Cinder usually isn't that difficult because I fight him after the DLCs. Which means that I'm even more powerful than normal. Right. That's actually probably one of the reasons why Cube had that much issues with the Soul of Cinder when he was fighting. Because it was fighting him at the point that you were normally supposed to fight him. But I don't want to do all this stuff and then come back later to link the fire. Even though, for the first time in this entire playthrough, I'm actually gonna go and skip the ending. Because I don't care. I'm just gonna go and skip the credits. I've noticed in editing that it's like, it's not that. No. I've noticed in editing that it's not like it's not that amazing to do that. Did I even do the like weapon reading in the last playthrough? Normally I should have done that, but I'm not sure if I actually did that. How are my stats looking? Can I put a point into something that I want to? Let me just go and put a point in luck. It's the first time in my life that I put a point in luck. Anyway. Right. Let me go and organize my storage box for a moment to get rid of all the stuff that I don't need in this playthrough so that I can very easily read everything and figure all that stuff out. My god, I got a lot of weapons. As per usual, really. Right, let's go and get rid of the stuff that I can't use. And it's also just for future self. If I ever want to use this account again, that I'm not like going absolutely mental because of the fact that I have a million Dark Souls, Dark Grave armor pieces in my inventory. Right. There we go. And then also the pants, because there are 4 pieces of a freaking armor set. There we go. And there's also... no, that's not that double. And if I have any more doubles, I have the Sorcerer double. There we go. Okay, let's start the reading, shall we? And then after that I'll say my whole thing about the build and all that jazz. Alright. Soul Arrow. Elementally sorcery fires a soul arrow. To use sorceries, equip a staff and attune the sorcery at a bonfire. Do you guys know that? Right, sorcery which improves upon soul arrows fires a more powerful soul arrow. Many sorceries inflict magic damage, making them effective against iron armor, tough scales, and other physically resilient material. Elementary yet practical sorcery from long ago fires a heavy soul arrow, offers greater power but slower casting time, entailing a vulnerability that makes the sorcery trickier to handle. Okay, Great Heavy Soul Arrow. Sorcery which improves upon Heavy Soul Arrow fires a more powerful Heavy Soul Arrow. Sorceries are a logical discipline, their strength influenced by the caster's intelligence. Right, Farron Dart. A variation of Soul Arrow developed by the sorcerers of the Undead Legion of Farron fires a Soul Dart. Well known among the Farron sorceries, it is learned far and wide due to its ease of use. The Great Farron Dart. Sorcery which improves upon Farron Dart fires a more powerful Soul Dart. Entrusted to the leader of the Legion's acolytes, and apparently a sorcery of his daughter, Hazel. That was refined by Crystal Sage. Intriguing. Okay, I never actually knew that Hazel was the daughter of the Legion's acolytes. Wow, that's insane. And then also, of course, learned by... that's actually the reason why Hazel is over there, because of the fact that she's learned by the Crystal Sage. Sorcery which improves upon this Farron Dart fires a cascade of soul darts, and the same of the last one. Homing Soul Mass. Sorcery developed by Big Hat Logan, the great sorcerer who left the Dragon School in an age long past. Releases a Homing Soul Mass. This sorcery may offer a clue as to what Logan sought, but further investigation suggests its attraction to living things mirrors the nature of the dark. Homing Crystal Soul Mass. Sharpens Homing Soul Mass via crystallization. Releases a Homing Crystal Soul Mass. Crystal Soul Mass has piercing qualities. My god. English is difficult sometimes. According to the Crystal Sages, Old Big Hat achieved enlightenment within the Regal Archives, where he came to find the quintessence of sorcery in the facets of a certain crystal. Crystal Hail. Unique sorcery developed by extraordinary preacher twins known as the Crystal Sages. Cast a cascade of small crystal soul masses from above. Crystal soul masses have piercing qualities. In a pact said to have been formed long ago, one of the sages allied with the Undead Legion in order to train the sorcerers of Farron. Which was the one that was over there, of course. Soul Spear. Sorcery developed by Big Hat Logan, the great sorcerer who left the Dragon School in an age long past. Fires a Soul Spear. The spear boasts superior penetrating power and is testament to Logan's strength in battle. Alright, the Crystal Soul Spear. Further sharpens Soul Spear via crystallization. Fires a piercing Crystal Soul Spear. According to the Crystal Sages, Old Big Hat achieved alignment, and this is still the same, okay. The White Dragon Breath. Sorcery of the deluded consumed King of Sorrows. Emits Crystal Breath of Sif the Scaleless. Crystal Breath has piercing qualities. Sif's research seemed to strike a chord with Old Big Hat, who in his mad, disrobed state, wow, made the divine works such as this, his own. Osiris was no doubt edified by this? I think that's how you say that. Soulstream. Sorcery imparted by the first of the scholars when Lothric and the Grand Archives were but young. Fires a torrential volley of souls. The first of the scholars doubted the linking of the fire and was alleged to be a private mentor to the royal prince. Soul Greatsword. Sorcery developed by primarily for sorcerer's swordsmen. My god. Attacks with a greatsword formed from souls. The how do you say this? Ephemeral blade, I think. Only exists as an extension of the caster, but its power is said to rival that of physical greatswords. Even the most obstinate magic purists may resort to this spell in time of crisis. Magic purists. Those damn magic purists. Right, Fern Flash Sword. Alteration of Soul Greatsword developed by sorcerers of the undead Legion of Fern. The Legion has a tendency to emphasize speed over power, and this practical alteration of an existing sorcery is no exception. The Old Moonlight, a memory of an old sword found deep within midair. This sorcery uses souls to grant form to the thought, and attack with it. Attacks are coupled with light waves, and sustaining the stance before attacking increases their speed and potency. Huh. The sword is named after Moonlight, but it is slightly different than the one fashioned from the Pale Drake's Sheath. Perhaps it is rooted in an older memory from not long after the beginning. I feel like this sword looks like the one from Bloodborne, the Moonlight sword. Let me take a look so I can actually hold it. Aha! Yeah, this looks a lot more like the sword from that game, I think. Intriguing. So that's why it wasn't doing that much damage. Because you could actually charge it up. Well, I never. Alright, magic weapon. Sorcery for casters who wield swords. Reinforces right weapon with magic. The power of the sorcerer swordsman of Vinheim is predicated, sure, upon this and magic shield. Many warriors learn sorcery just with this enchantment. Great magic weapon. Sorcery which improves upon magic weapon. Greatly reinforces right weapon with magic. Only sorcerer swordsmen with special duties are permitted the use of this spell. The Azure Blade is said to cut down heavily armored knights with ease. Crystal magic weapon. Further sharpens magic weapon via crystallization. Reinforces right weapon with crystal. After much experimentation, Logan found the crystal medium facilitated a stronger bond between weapon and soul. Frozen weapon. One of the spells left behind by the young sorcerer Sullivan before leaving the painted world. Imbues right hand weapon with frost. Sullivan was born and raised inside the painting, yet had little use for his frigid homeland, since he had not yet experienced loss. Wait, what? Sullivan was born and raised inside the painting, yet had little use for his frigid homeland, since he had not yet experienced loss. Magic shield. Sorcery for casters who wield swords. Reinforces left shield with magic. Or, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Shield augmented by magic have higher stability and damage absorption. Even the smallest of shields can be toughened considerably with the use of this spell. Great magic shield. Sorcery which improves upon magic shield. Greatly reinforces left shield with magic. Only sorcerer swordsmen with special duties are permitted to use this spell, which temporarily grants even the smallest of shields fortitude more akin to that of a great shield. Spook. Sorcery developed by a certain surreptitious sorcerer at Vinheim Dragon School. Masks the noises of the caster and prevents fall damage. Their mastery of the sorcery alone allows Vinheim spooks to demand handsome payment for their services. Oral Decoy. Sorcery developed by a certain surreptitious sorcerer at Vinheim Dragon School. Distracts foes with a distant sound. The sound carries with it a strangely infectious resonance that may cause one to stray from their post and expose their back. Pestilent Mist. Highly dangerous sorcery employed by Dragon School spooks. Only taught to trusted members. Releases dense mist that eats away at HP. Beware, as the caster is not immune to its effect. A body caught in the silent mist cloud lies still, while the face twists in a tortured scream. The names of these learned sorcerers became feared for this gruesome spectacle. Snap Freeze. One of the spells left behind by the young sorcerer Sullivan before leaving the Painted Worlds. Create a cloud of near-freezing mist. Sullivan was born and raised inside the painting, yet had little blah blah blah. Yep, the same. Cast Light. Lost sorcery from Ulasil. Land of ancient golden sorceries. Cast a light to illuminate surroundings. This light-producing magic is elementary, but nonetheless it demonstrates the pure nature of golden sorceries, the likes of which have not been developed even at the Dragon School. Repair. Lost sorcery from Ulasil. Okay, yeah. Repairs a good weapon and armor, includes weapons with exhausted durability. Oh, wow. Huh. While the effects of this spell are rather subtle, its foundations are a well-guarded secret. Light is time, and the reversal of its effect is a forbidden art. The weapon itself, hidden weapon, Jesus. The weapon itself undergoes no inherent changes. Effective use of this, like any tool perhaps, is reliant upon the ingenuity of its caster. Hidden body. Turns the body nigh on invisible. Although perfect invisibility is unachievable due to the risk of dissipation, the caster need only stand still for a moment to blend into environs with astounding camouflage. chameleon transforms into something inconspicuous. Far from formally developed, this magic was instead born from the mischief of a young girl who sought relief from the solitude of the woods at dusk. Twisted Wall of Light. Distorts light in order to deflect magic. A closely guarded light manipulation spell that contorts the very fabric of fundamental laws, negating magic by denying its claim to physicality. Jesus. Deep Soul, sorcery of Archdeacon Royce and his deacons, said to have been imparted to them by MacDonald of the Boreal Valley. Fires Dark Soul Dregs, souls which dwell from the deep, pursue their target, drawn towards life. Great Deep Soul, sorcery which improves upon Deep Soul, fires a powerful Darkened Soul Dregs. Archdeacon MacDonald, a sorcerer himself, delighted in the cathedral's stagnated souls. For him, they represented the glorious bedrock of this world. Great Soul Dregs, a sorcery that fires great Dark Soul Dregs that have pursued for ages far within deep. This sorcery is the highest form of Deep Soul. Some of the mercmen who rise from the depths are possessed by Soul Dregs, which have a grave likeness to the human form. Affinity, a forbidden dark sorcery, casts a dark manifestation of humanity. It appears to be an expression of envy, or perhaps love towards another, that will tenaciously pursue its target, even if, like so many human desires, it amounts to nothing but misfortune. Oof. That was deep, bro. Okay, Dark Edge. Strikes with the blade formed of humanity's darkness. Passed from mother to daughter, this blade was intended for both protection and as a means of taking one's own life. The young girl never swung it more than once. Wow. I don't know who the young girl is, but jeez. It could actually be. Could it be Carla? Maybe. Alright, the dagger. Standard small dagger. Small daggers lack power or reach, but can deal quick consecutive hits due to their light weight. Highly effective when used for critical hits, such as after parrying or attacking from behind. The skill is Quick Step. Instantly step behind or around the side of foes, especially effective when locked onto targets. The parrying dagger. Dagger with a greatly curved guard. A dagger made especially for parrying, which is usually equipped in one's left hand in place of a shield. And then the parry. The skill is parry. Deflect an attack when timed properly and follow up with a critical hit. Works while equipped in either hand. Mailbreaker. A small sword made for thrusting attacks. This hard-edged sword can pierce through tough armor and boasts a deadly critical attack. The skill is Shield Splitter. Aim carefully and attack with a large forward lunge to pierce through enemy shields and inflict damage directly. The Harp. The large sickle-shaped body used for severing corpses is a worker's tool in the undead settlement. The sharp edge is on the inside of the weapon itself. Is on the inside of the weapon. Itself designed for cutting and pulling, thus allowing for good damage against shielded foes. And the skill is also Quick Step. The Bandit's Knife, a white single-edged short sword, primarily a slicing weapon, but its blade is crafted to cause bleeding, making it a favorite of lowly thieves and bandits. The Rotten Grue Dagger, a crude half-rotten dagger, choice weapon of the blunt-horned Grues, descendant of the acolytes of Fair and Keep. The rancid blade is drenched in a rotten waste, making it acutely poisonous. The Corvian Great Knife, the dagger of the unwanted, those guided by heretical storytellers, a rather large dagger with a powerful attack. This transparent attempt to intimidate foes reveals much about its owner's fears. The skill is Blind Spot. Always have to think about freaking Xenoblade Chronicles 2 when I hear Blind Spot. Used against shielded foes to break through their guard by attacking from the side. Right. Time for the Murky Hand Scythe. A short-shafted hand scythe wielded by the mercmen who rise from the depths. Enveloped by a black dampness and imbued with the strength of dark. And the skill is also Quick Step. Handmaid's Dagger. Dagger used by handmaids of the profane capital. Each successful attack replenishes a slight amount of FP. It is said that these women took pleasure in wounding others. Huh. Okay. Scholar's Candlestick. A candlestick covered in ivory scales once used by the scholars of the Great Archives. This served as their guiding light, as well as a tool for self-restraint. Self-restraint. Even today, wielders of this weapon benefit from the resulting sorcery strengthening properties. I don't really know about these ones, probably like a hidden mechanic or something that probably improves your sorcery power or whatever. This is so stupid in this game. This is one thing you could see in Dark Souls 2, which was like your magic bonus basically, like your magic damage bonus or your lightning damage bonus. You can see all those things, and in this game you can't, which is really annoying. Right, the Aquamarine Dagger. A dagger fitted with aquamarine crystal, engraved with a prayer in the old tongue to ward off incidents. Perhaps it was the parting gift given to one sent off on great travels. The skill is Crystal Blade. Release magic from the aquamarine crystals, creating a fleeting blue crystal blade, lengthy enough to swing as a straight sword. The Tailbone Short Sword. Twisted dagger cherished by the wretched prisoners of Earseal Dungeon. crafted from a feeble tailbone and seen as a sign of the dragons. Their screams are oft heard inside the dungeon as they naively mutilate their unworthy flesh. Jesus. Skill is Unleash Dragon. Trust the dagger to unleash the strength of the dragon, similar to an ancient dragon weapon, only with its power tragically faded. And the Brigand Twin Daggers. These pair daggers are the preferred weapons of the Brigands of the Distant Land. Or of a distant land. When two-handed, the wielder holds a blade in each hand, allowing for divergent attacks that include left-handed moves. Time for the saves. Sorcerer's Staff. Staff used to cast sorceries, a common catalyst given to sorcerers of the Vinheim Dragon School. You equip a catalyst to use sorceries. Sorcerers must be attuned at a bonfire before use. The skill is Steady Chance. Boosts the strength of sorceries for a very short period. Works while equipped in either hand. Heretic Staff, or the Heretic's Staff. Catalyst used by generations of heretic sorcerers. Sorcery is a logical academic discipline, and the power of sorceries depends heavily on a caster's intelligence. The Court Sorcerer's Staff. Catalyst used by the court sorcerers of the profaned capital. Very powerful and wielded by an exceptionally intelligent sorcerer. The court sorcerers laid claim to the legacy of the renowned Big Hat Logan, going so far as to emulate him with copies of the staff he used. Witch Tree Branch. The branch of a large, well-tended witch tree, used as a sorcery catalyst. Witch tree staves are customary in the far north and allow for faster casting than ordinary catalysts. The Storyteller Staff. Staff of a heretic storyteller who shares tales of the painted world to forlorn souls. Interesting, I actually never knew this. The storytellers, too, are wretched beings with no place to go. Their bodies, souls, and even their staves are all tainted through and through. Skill, Poison Spores. Expel noxious spores from the formless parasitical things that inhabit the staff. Now that I'm thinking about it, the Corvians are the Corvians. You have Corvians from the normal world, which are like the storyteller dudes over here, and the dudes using the daggers and the scythes. And then you, of course, also have the Corvians from the Painted World, so it does make sense that they're actually from the Painted World. Intriguing. Right, the Mendicant's Staff. A staff with a small bowl attached to the tip, similar to a Mendicant's Crook. Absorbs additional souls from fallen foes. The staff's history is unclear. It may be a relic of an ancient serpent greed, or a ritual artifact used to summon souls. The Murky Longstaff. The long-handled staff wielded by the Merkmen who rise from the depths, slathered with a black murkiness and fit for dark sorceries. The skill is Chant from the Depths. Work with staff equipped in either left or right hand, briefly boost the strength of dark sorceries. The Izalith Staff. Ancient catalyst of the Witch of Izalith and her daughters, used long before the dawn of chaos and of pyromancy. With the birth of the Chaos Flame, the Flame Witches were at once both sorcerers and shamans. Faith adjusts the power of sorceries cast using this catalyst, and the staff also seems to boost the power of dark sorceries. Archdeacon Great Staff. Large staff bestowed upon archdeacons of the Cathedral of the Deep. The Archdeacon MacDonald's trespass, the sin of channeling faith for sorcery, transformed what was once merely a symbol of ecclesiastic authority into a catalyst of sorceries. Right, the Mangrub Staff. Staff of the Mangrubs who guard Rosaria's bedchamber. Their holy symbol is formed at the tip. Wielder's luck strengthens the effects of sorceries. The Mangrubs have clearly been reborn. But as what? The preacher's right arm. The desiccated right hand of a white-faced locust that rose from an abyssal swamp that happens to perform as a catalyst for sorcery. The white-faced locusts were meant to beckon men to the dark with sermons, but most of them are unable to think past their own stomachs. The unruly mob! Skill is Feasting Branch. Use souls to weave a sharp branch to fillet prey. Can be used repeatedly. The Sage's Crystal Staff. Crystal catalyst presented as a gift by the Crystal Sages to their favorite pupil, Creamhild. The crystal spheres devour the will of the user, and this staff increases the potency of sorceries at the cost of increased FP consumption for skills. And there we go, that's it. So I actually want to take a look at how some of these staves look, because I've never really held L. Like there's a lot of these staves that I've never really taken a good look at, because I don't usually equip them. This is the Witch Tree Branch. Looks freaking awesome. And then we have this over here, the Medicants one. Interesting. This looks kind of weird though. Now, why do I keep on switching that one? There we go. Now the Storyteller one with his special skill of casting poison, basically. Okay, and then we have The Mercury Longstaff, the Isolith Staff, and this staff. And oh yeah, now it's purple to signify the increased dark damage. Okay, look at this freaking staff. Holy crap! I can't even see the top of the staff. That's insane. Where's my... Oh yeah, no, my sorceries still come from my fist. I was wondering, like, where do the sorceries come from? Holy crap, man, look at this thing. I do like the look of this thing, though. Like, that's the thing, though. I love the look of a lot of these staves, but they're just not good. Well, it's not good for me, in any case. Because some of them require some very specific stuff to be able to be useful. Right. And then this one. Okay. So the mangrove staff. Which is the one that the mangroves are using, of course. Oh, whoops. Ran out of juice. I'm not too big a fan of this one. I do like the range. Like, I do like the way that it's this big and this long. And then we have this hand, which is an interesting catalyst. Wait, I can just like spam this, right? Yeah. Interesting. Not sure how useful that would be, but... And then we have this one, which is, just seems like a normal... Like a pretty normal casting thing now. Interesting. Right. And let's go and equip my good staff again. How long is my normal staff actually? It really isn't that long. Wow. Right, doesn't matter, people. So that's gonna be it. I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised by the sorcery and dagger build. I really thought that I was just gonna struggle through everything. I really wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to. Well, I was sure that I was gonna be able to get through the game. That was no problem. It's more a thing of like, I don't know how easy or difficult it was. I will say there have been a lot of boss battles where I actually had it a lot more difficult than I would normally have it when using physical weapons. But I still managed to do it because of the speed of the dagger. Like, I gotta say, the speed of the dagger is really, really useful. Also in PvP even. The combined range, poise damage, and fast attack of the Corvin Great Knife is absolutely amazing in my opinion. If there's ever a dagger you want to use this one. If you want to like use it for normal attacking also, not only for backstabbing. Because then you have better daggers that do more crit damage. But that's it, people. My god. So that's it. That's my final magic build. Really. I'm gonna have to put some points into other stats later on when I'm gonna be getting some other stuff. You know what? Okay, I was pathetic. I wrote something down over here, but I cannot really read what I wrote down anymore. I do know what the next freaking build is gonna be, or the next playthrough in any case. It's gonna be freaking axes. Ugh, that was a hiccup. Ugh. And after that, it's gonna be katanas, which is gonna be quite interesting because I haven't really played that much with katanas. The axes is not gonna be that interesting because I'm just gonna fly through the game. Because you have the hammers, the axes, and the straight swords, which are, in my opinion, just like the basic weaponry. They have like different things going for them, but they're just the basic weapons. There's not much too special about it. Well, if you take a look at the curved greatswords, they have like a special feel to them, a special flow to them. Katanas also, ultra greatswords also. Normal greatswords have their own thing, of course. And then the spears are entirely different. The great axes are also very special. Curved swords also have their own special thing. You see what I mean? Halberds too, reapers, great hammers. Yeah, it's like the axes, the straight swords, and the hammers that are just a little bit the same. They look a lot like each other. Oh well. Alright, people, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of this shit. And I'll see you guys, maybe, in the next one. Goodbye.